Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early August 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Saggies in early August? It is Leo season at the time of this filming. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into. The deck is trying to jump out of my hands. All right, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy. It's going to be a fun one today, my friends. I have a feeling. Let's get this card out. Yeah, cool. Femme Fatale. So, yeah, I don't know why the deck is so jumpy already, but I love this Femme Fatale. There's something about it that I find very alluring, very tempting. But there's like this little undertone of needing to apply some caution to it. And I'm sure you could tell by some of that symbolism here. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely Femme Fatale. Now, I will mention, she does give me Queen of Wands vibes as well, which is a Sagittarius power card. Again, it's not gender specific, right? We see her all decked out in red. So when I see a Saggy power card at the front end of the Saggy reading, that's always a good sign. It's very high energy. So I will say in this time, hopefully that's an upswing, or you feeling motivated, pumped up, ready to rock. The only downside is if you start feeling a little wild, right? So watch the temper. But the thing with the Femme Fatale, I'm going to put her back down here, right? Real quick. Notice that she's holding a rose and that there's Venus flytraps, aside from her wearing red, which isn't always like caution, caution, caution. But the rose, it's beautiful. It smells great. But there are thorns that can prick your finger. The Venus flytraps secrete a sweet smelling liquid that attracts insects. So you see what I mean? There's like this energy that's alluring. It's very tempting. So if there's certain things, behaviors, situations that you've been trying to avoid or hold back from, this energy is like, oh, Saggy, yeah, no, just come here, Saggy, you gotta try this, do this. I don't know what is so convincing about it. So again, it's beautiful, it's magnetic, it's super confident. So if you're feeling that, great. But there's also this level of danger underneath the surface. So maybe there is something to be cautious with. We're just going to let her chill out, though. She could keep doing what she's doing. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Saggies. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the karmic energy was in play. The reading was titled Big Karmic Situation. Now, sometimes to me, it feels like the universe is orchestrating things, or the universe is tilting the scales. Karma doesn't always just have to be, you're just learning a lesson from this, or you get what you put out. All of that is true, but when we look at karmic things, karmic cycles, change, transformation, there's so many different subsets of karmic energy. So we're going to see if that lingers over to this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take it out it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else. But that powerful universal energy was definitely in play last week. So let's see what we got. Let's get 3 cards out here. What do we have for the beautiful Saggies in early August? Yeah, this energy is like off to the races, right? We have the Knight of Swords in position number 1. That energy is not slow whatsoever. It's like, all right, no, gonna do this, gonna do that. Like, this energy is zipping and zooming. Let's get a couple more. What do we got here for Saggy? Okay, 9 of Pentacles. It's a very interesting push-pull. Now, I love the 9 of Pentacles. I believe it showed up in the Leo reading this week as well. The 9 of Pentacles is nice. It's usually a very good result, but it's the total opposite of what we have here in the front. Let's get one more. Okay, 3 of Wands. So this is like the middle ground, potentially. I like the 3 of Wands. There's a certain sense of anticipation with it. So we have an intriguing mixture of stuff here, Sag. Whether this is like different ways to handle something, or just how something's presenting itself. They're totally different modes of energetic movement. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that paints a picture, lays a foundation, tells us how the energy could potentially flow. And you have a good mixture this week, right? We got a little bit of air, a little bit of earth, a little bit of fire. Specifically, the air and fire are very good in a Sagittarius reading. It's very comfortable. So the energy, for the most part, looks like it could be pretty comfortable for you to flow with. Now, when it comes to the air, it's usually connected to the mind, perception, perspective. It's very logical, pragmatic. It's all about information and how we process it. So, whether there's information you're looking for, I'm studying up on this, I need to figure this out, I want insight on that. Maybe you're giving information. That is the suit of communication. So, you see what I mean? It's all about the knowledge. So, I think it can be great. The thing with air, though, sometimes, since it is so cerebral, it could represent overthinking, dwelling on things. It could also be very cold, detached, and clinical. So just watch out for that vibe. Moving into the middle, we have the total opposite. So the air is zipping, zooming, it's going, it's moving, it's flowing. Here in the center, we have earth, results, solid, stable. It could represent stability and security. There's something about it that's very predictable. It could represent routine. Every day at this time, I do this. It could be money, work, business, finance, home, and family. So all the material world aspects are under this suit. The downside to Earth is that it's very, very slow, if it's even moving at all. Right? Sometimes this energy could show up when we feel stuck. So with the air and the earth next to each other, not even getting into the cards, they cause a friction right there. Then on the back end, we have fire, more action. That's your power suit. That's your comfort zone. Whether it's actions you take, actions other people take, actions that you want to take. I would say it's high vibrational energy, similar to this guy on the front. It's zipping and zooming. It's flowing normally. It could represent health and wellness. It could represent energy levels. So whether you're feeling an increase or a decrease, make sure you're taking care of yourself. The only downside with fire is its unpredictable nature. It could be very explosive and volatile. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of different modes this energy is flowing in. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we have the Knight of Swords. Now, aside from all the stuff we were talking about, the mind, I always say when it comes to knights, they represent action. They can also be messengers. They could speak about communication and talks. Out of all the knights, this is the fastest moving one. So it's taking action. It's shooting off towards something like a rocket, where it's like, nope, I'm doing it. I'm not even thinking about it. Boom, it's zipping, it's zooming, it's flowing. So that could be really good if you're looking for action, if you're looking for results, if you're looking for progress. That could be really nice. But what's the downside of a card like this? Sometimes it can force. Sometimes this energy is a little too aggressive, a little too pushy, and it can be very temperamental. The Knight of Swords does not shy away from a fight. So that's just something to keep in mind. This energy can push a little too hard. Moving to the middle, we have the complete total opposite or flip flop. That's what I'm hoping this isn't is. That's what I'm hoping this isn't. Because we go from this energy that's free flow, and it's going, it's rolling, into the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this isn't a bad card. This, to me, could represent wins, victories, and blessings. We see the lady in the yard. She's got her pet bird. She is surrounded by beautiful things. So this could be something really fantastic coming in. It's solid, it's stable, it's predictable. The only I don't even want to call it a downside, but one thing with this card is that it's the Nine of Pentacles. It's not quite the 10. So this card can show up when we're feeling okay. We're feeling pretty good. We have mostly everything in order, but there's still room for improvement. There's that one thing that's missing. There's that one puzzle piece that I feel like I'm missing. If I could get that puzzle piece, then it would be a complete picture. So I like the Nine of Pentacles for that. It's, again, it's blessings and abundance too, but it can also represent like a very independent mode and mindset. It's great for the money and work stuff. The only downside to her is she's not moving, she's not budging. So like when I have this energy that's doing nothing but moving, then the Nine of Pentacles, I'm hoping this isn't something that changes too suddenly or suddenly stops. On the back end, we have the Three of Wands. Now, we see this person, they're at the shoreline, the ships are coming in. Normally this card will show up when something's about to show up, something's about to appear. This is a huge card of manifestation and creation. There's an anticipation here. Not sure if you're in a waiting pattern or holding pattern in regards to something, but like when I see the Three of Wands, it's like, oh, it's almost here. Oh, I just got to wait a little bit. I think it can be great. There is that anticipation though, so I'm not sure if there's something that you're anticipating with this card. It is also one of those energies of like travel too, travel, moving around. If you're going on a trip, I love all this. The downside to the Three of Wands, it is that stuck feeling too. Am I wasting my time? Am I waiting for nothing? Is this ever going to happen? So, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Sagi. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Knight of Swords? Yeah, it's all different the way the energy presents. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Sagi, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Knight of Swords in the mix? Why is the Knight of Swords here? Okay. All right. I mean, this energy, I was picking it up in the Leo reading too. We have the Fool in reverse. This is an energy where it's like, I'm not thinking, I'm just acting. I'm not thinking, I'm just doing. Fire air combination makes that energy a little more explosive than it normally is. It is very, very intense. So for some Saggies, if this is internal energy, it's like I'm burning from the inside. There's like this intensity that wants to be let out. And I got a same thing in the Leo reading where it's like there's like an animal trying to get out of the cage. So again, watch the urges, watch the temptation, because this is absolutely like explosive action or movement of some kind in the front where it's like I'm not thinking about it too much, I'm just acting. The energy can be very reactive. So in the good sense, when I see the Fool in reverse underneath this Knight of Swords, it's like, yeah, I'm not overcomplicating it, I'm just acting, I'm responding. This energy is like a very responsive too, if that makes sense. So that could be great, but at the same time, this energy could be very touchy too. So it's like I'm getting a mixture of things once again. Either it's a very reactive energy, a very touchy energy where it's like I'm walking on eggshells here. I don't know why I'm doing that. Or it's one that's like, screw it, I'm just going to do what I want. So it's very fiery, very action oriented. Now, the thing with the Fool, even in reverse, it could be positive. It's the first of the tarot deck. You know, the protagonist who represents adventures and new chapters, and it's usually very lighthearted and having fun. But always notice he's about to walk off that cliff, and that dog is like, hey, don't do that. Hey, think for a second. So when I get like a really fast card with the Fool in reverse, it's like, I'm not thinking, I'm just acting. So whether this is you being reactive, someone else being reactive, the energy just feels a little bit wild to me. We're going to keep going. We're going to see what the Nine of Pentacles has. It's like it responds very quickly or reacts super fast. So again, there could be a lot of things or actions. It's explosive in nature. Whether that's how you're moving or somebody else. Let's keep going over to the Nine of Pentacles. Let's see what that nine is. Yeah, I don't know what these eggshells are. Let's see what the Nine of Pentacles has. Okay. So we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse underneath this Nine of Pentacles. I'm not sure if there's someone that like you're not really speaking to right now, or you're not really trying to rattle the cage. Like this energy is like, oh, I'm just going to give that a little bit of time here. Like, yeah, that energy looks pretty intense. I'm going to give that a little bit of time. So I think this could be a good approach for some of you. Now, the Page of Pentacles is a talker, right? Messenger. All pages are their messengers and their students. Usually in the upright, especially under the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, hey, I have good news. Let me try to cheer you up. That could be nice for some of you, but remember, this page is in reverse underneath this Nine of Pentacles. So it's kind of like one of those energies like, okay, well, you figure out whatever you got going on over there. I'm just going to give that energy space. I don't know what that is. So whether it's you giving someone else a little space or breathing room, maybe someone's giving you a little space. That's very possible in this time. Or there could just be something that spirit's like, Saggy, don't force it. Or maybe don't react how you think the energy wants you to react, right? Because this energy is a little wild. Nine of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles in reverse is like super non-reactive. What I'm hoping is that like this isn't what someone's showing on the outside and this is their inside, where it's like what I'm showing and what I'm feeling are two totally different things. So there's a lot of stuff coming through for you this week. Feels like I'm doing a personal. We're going to keep going. Again, only take it how it hits for you. I mean, I guess like for some of you Saggies, if you're just staying in your own lane, doing your own thing, minding your business, that's kind of this energy too. It's like hermit mode-esque. Let's keep going to the Three of Wands. Like, yeah, that looks a little wild. I'll be here. So let's see. Let's see what's up with that 3. Not sure if there's something you're trying to give a little space. Okay. All right. So the fiery energy is still in the mix, my good friend. So we have the 7 of Wands in reverse underneath this 3 of Wands. This is absolutely an energy that's not trying to make something worse. It's not feeding into something. It's like, I'm not going to feed that fire. A lot of times in life, when there are certain things or results that we're wanting, if we try too hard, it seems like it stays out of reach. Like we're a carrot on a stick. Like we're on a treadmill and we're trying to get that carrot on a stick. And it's like the harder I try, the further it stays out of my reach. The 3 of Wands with the 7 of Wands in reverse is like, okay, I'm going to stop trying, and when I stop trying, that's when the energy loosens up and does what I wanted it to originally do. I know that's hyper specific, but only take it if it hits. There is this energy here about not forcing things, or whether it's something specific, whether it's life in general, what maybe you're living in a state of flow right now. And if you are, beautiful. But the 3 of Wands with the 7 of Wands is also very much hands off, like we had here in the center, where it's like, okay, you do whatever it is you're doing over there, however explosive the energy is. The 7 of Wands can represent feeling cornered, feeling like you're between a rock and a hard place. It could sometimes feel a little trapped, right? Like it's me against the world. That's a big vibe of this card. But it also represents determination, effort, trying. So when it shows up in reverse underneath the 3 of Wands, it's like, all right, well, maybe sometimes the best action is no action, or sometimes the best course of action is to just go hands off for a while. There is something here about not forcing or giving something space. That's just how it's showing up this week. So whether you're needing it, whether you're wanting it, whether you're giving it, or whether this is something that pops up, it's like I wouldn't feed into it. I would not feed the fire, because this energy up here in the front is very explosive. So, and it could be a situation too, or an action. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So a lot of different things, but we did start picking up a theme, especially on the back end. Position number 1, we have the Knight of Swords with the Fool in reverse. As I already mentioned, that's like not thinking things through. It's just acting, act first, think later type of vibe. It's very reactive, so watch out for any things or situations that have a volatility to it. It does feel explosive, where it's like, I'm just acting. I'm not even thinking. I'm just doing it. So it could be explosive action in general, but to me, it feels like a little wild for whatever reason. So watch out for urges and temptations. In the center, we have the 9 of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, okay, I'm going to give that a little space. I'm going to let that energy figure that out. I'm going to let it do what it's going to do. So maybe there is something that Spirit wants you to be a little hands off with it. This is that big vibe switch as well. So aside from like the risky, wild energy, this one is the total opposite. Moving to the back end, we have the 3 of Wands with the 7 of Wands in reverse. And I use the example of sometimes when we really want something, when we're really trying for something, it's like chasing that carrot on a stick. This to me is like, I'm going to stop trying, I'm going to stop forcing, and I'm going to allow something to flow. So whatever will be type of energy. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get it going here. One shadow card for my lovely Sagis. Cool. All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles, which was a focal point within the reading this week, right? We had him right in the center in reverse underneath the 9 of Pentacles, and now it shows up as our shadow card. Now, again, the good thing about it, it's conversational, it communicates, but when we see it in the shadows, this is an energy that's like, let me bite my tongue for a moment. So again, for some Saggies, that could be an advice. I know how beautiful and opinionated you Saggies can be, but sometimes Spirit might be saying like, maybe you should bite your tongue about this one, or maybe there is something that you want to speak about or talk about that you're not addressing. Like, to me, it feels like I'm biting my tongue so hard for some reason. That's so unique. The page can also be a little unsure. So again, if there are things or situations or even people you're dealing with where it's like, I don't even know what to do, I don't even know which way to go, it's okay to hit the pause button for the time being. Like if you're in a place where you're not sure how to handle this, that, or the other thing, as long as there's not like a wild rush, it's like, all right, just hit the pause button for a second. But yeah, watch out for indecisiveness too. So We're going to leave it at that, Sagi. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The August calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the August subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 winners at random to either choose the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is an absolutely stunning deck, or one of the custom-made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in your reading today, which one intrigued you the most? Which one caught your attention, and why? And you put that in the comments, you'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab / post tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.